Hey, what's up, people? I just want to let y'all know that talking on that video, it helped. So I got some ideas. If anybody's out there and they're feeling suicidal today, like I am, why don't you try this? Why don't you get on YouTube and make a video? And when you do that, that's talking. You know, when you isolate yourself like we do, uh, you need to talk. And believe it or not, that helps me. It really did. I, uh, I'm kind of proud of myself for doing that. I'm not kidding. And even though I might be having a little bit of, let's see what was going on here. I might be having a little bit of problem with this computer right here. You know, I'm not a computer person by any chance, but listen, it really helped. I feel a little bit better. You know, especially thinking that maybe I might have an influence on somebody else. And when you're really suffering from something like that, you can have an influence on somebody else. I tell you what, I appreciate YouTube giving me the platform to be able to get on here and talk because you know, believe it or not, it might save my life today. You know, I think I would have. I like to think that I would have went and got help, but at the same time, you never know. How things are going to turn out on any given day. And I don't carry a weapon outside my house, and I would never shoot myself. I get help first, but there are people out there that, you know, they might benefit from these videos. And I'm not even my video. I'm no good at nothing. But at the same time, maybe you can make a video, and that'll take your mind off something just long enough. I made 3 back to back there. The first one I ran over time, but I know it sounds kind of stupid, but I don't even have a cell phone. I surely don't because I've isolated myself to the point the last 15, 17 years that I don't even have one friend. Not one. But listen, the only people I know to call is the hospital. Don't let yourself get in the same situation as me. Don't let yourself get to the point to where you don't know not one person. That in itself will make you depressed, and we all know that depression, you know, can lead to worse things, just like a trigger. And I was triggered when they announced that. I'm not even gonna say his name, even though I know it. What is it? Abu Bakr Ali Baghdadi, or whatever his name is. The leader of Daesh was killed the day before yesterday. Believe it or not, it triggered me. And even though it was great news, I thought about a lot of things in the last 24 to 48 hours, and it put me kind of in a funk, people. I'm sure that you guys have your own triggers or whatever, but that was mine, and that's one of mine. And you know, I remember Operation Anaconda. I remember all these operations where we were close to getting some of these guys. Sometimes I don't need to remember so much. Sometimes I need to leave doors closed, but you know, they're opened. You're not going to be able to shelter yourself. Even isolating myself in my home, I was still able to be triggered. You know, I avoid triggers. That's why we don't go out. Avoiding triggers. You need to be able to identify your triggers. That is one of the first things that you need to be able to do in order to help yourself. First, you have to identify the situation. You have to be properly diagnosed. You have to be in therapy. You have to go to groups. Yes, you do. You have to. You have to. There's going to be times when you're going to have to get in-house help. You know, like I do. And you need to go ahead and try to get the insurance that'll cover these things. Get a good support base. Make sure you have support at home. Now, when you come out of these hospitals, if you have no support at home, then you know you've defeated the whole purpose. Listen, if you don't have any support at home, then when you get to the hospital, you tell them this. You tell them, say, listen, when I get out, I'm going to go right back to the alcohol. I'm going to go right back to the depression. I'm going to do drugs. I'm going to become a train wreck again, you know. And look, it's not our fault. You know, I don't feel one bit guilty about this. You know, we served our country. You know, we did what the people ask us to do. And I'm sure just like every one of you guys out there did a great job. But listen, I don't want to lose one person. None of us do. So speak up. If you need help, speak up. We can find you a frying pan. You know, we can find you whatever it is you may need to. The reason I say frying pan is because when I get depressed, I like to fry burgers. It's a comfort food for me. You know, it reminds me of growing up. You know, I don't like to really fry them all that much. I have a grill outside, but you know, sometimes there's bad weather. I know that was kind of a weird thing to compare. You know, we can find you a ride to the hospital. I don't have a vehicle. It's not that I can't afford one. It's just that I don't leave my house often enough for one to be, you know, I'm talking about 10 times in the last 7 years. Maybe I've left my house twice this year, so I'm doing pretty good this year. The last time I left was February 9th. What's today's date? October 28th. You know, that may seem like a long stretch at home for some of you people, but for me, you know, that's the way I want it. Listen, no matter what it takes, get the ball rolling. Talk to your spouse. Talk to your children. Talk to your pastor. Talk to your neighbors. Don't be ashamed. You know, those people at the hospital, those nurses and doctors, I was always so ashamed at first. You know, but they're really good people. They really want to help. You know, I found out. Yes, sir. You know, I talked about my alcoholism and drugism. Now, it may not have been as bad as some other people, you know, and you know, but it's bad enough for me. I took Valiums, prescribed by my doctor, and I had to get rehab for those. And pain medications. I never have, you know, taken any of that stuff, and thank goodness. But even a little Valium, it's hard to come off those things, guys. And you know, I had a lot more to say when I turned it back on, but now I don't have much to say, except for the fact that, and if you're in there with my woman, I hope that you reminded her to get some of the things that I need. But listen, I would like to have a moment of silence for the veterans that didn't come home. You know, and I mean it. I'm not just blowing hot air. You know, I'm going to say some names. And when I say these names, you know, think about it, ponder it. Some of these guys you may know. Shane Patton. Let's see. You know, some of these guys you may have even served with, like Robert O'Neill. No, I said the wrong one. Neil Roberts. I'm sorry. Robert O'Neill, I know you're alive and well, brother. Neil Roberts. How about the first man killed in Iraq, not enduring freedom? Mark Lee. How about Michael Mansour? A hero. A real hero. Do you guys know his story? He was on a rooftop with a group of his teammates, and somehow or another a grenade was tossed up on top of that building, and I think it hit him right in the chest, and I think he yelled grenade, and he went flat down on it. That's a hero. There's no other way to describe it. How about Michael Murphy? I think a lot of you guys know his story, you know, as well as Danny Dietz and Axelson, you know, Matt Axelson. What about James Sue? Kevin Houston, Robert Reeves. You know, some of you guys may recognize some of these names. Aaron Vaughn. Yeah, Matt Mason. The list goes on and on. As a matter of fact, I ought to run in there and get my list of my friends. You know, my personal friends that I can't say that it's really hard. Some of these guys, you know, heroes, one and all. I want to say a lot more names, if you guys don't mind. You know, it's not hard. James Workman, hero. Let's see, Charles Keating IV. He went to help some men that were pinned down, and he was killed himself. Yes, he was. But he put it out there. Put it out there. You know, good men, very good men. It's hard to even fathom. You know, these guys were young. You know, most of them. Wow. Just young men. And I'm not reading off of anything. I have a dry erase board in my other office in the front of the house, and 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And I write 5 names down a day. And I say those names all day long. And my wife and my child, they'll go by and say those names. If I had friends, they would too. And anyone who ever comes over, I make sure that they see those names, you know. Jonas Kelsall, who was a good friend of Robert Reeves. They grew up together, if I'm not mistaken. Now, Jonas Kelsall went in first, and Robert Reeves followed. 2 good men that I believe were killed on the same day. Extortion 17. You know, yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think I heard between 17 and 22 Navy SEALs, about 33 men overall, including the pilots, a dog, a K9 handler, all went down with Extortion 17. And then don't forget July 2005, Operation Red Wings, when they were going for Marcus Luttrell. You know, when Danny and Matt Axelson died, and Michael Murphy, you remember James Sue, and you know, Kevin Houston, of course, was a different thing. But you know, there are other men that that died at different times. Ryan Owens, Yemen. What about it goes on and on. It goes on and on. And I'll tell you what, every podcast or whatever you call this thing that I do, sitting here talking, I'm going to mention names. I'm going to talk about people so that they're not forgotten. These men do not. Whenever we mention their name, they're alive. You know, because we're all thinking about them all day long. Good men, all good men. It's you know, Stephen Mills. Wow. You know, I got to watch this time. Good men, all good men. There's way lots more to say. I'm going to save them for the next part. I'm going to actually get my list, which I keep it close by. Let's see, I'm in my office. I have an office in front of my house and in the back of my house, and I've got that list right here in the room with me. But if I get up and go get it right now, my time will run out, and I do not want this to be something that's wasted. You know, as a matter of fact, I've got it right here. Yeah, I could read names. Yes, sir. These are heroes, each one and all. But I'm gonna say, the next part, I'm just gonna read names. And I'll tell you what, let me get off here and get my list out, and I'll be right back reading names. Peace to you people, and get help. And let's talk about these men.